Hey, we're back with you. We don't mean to go silent here and there. We're kind of doing some other things here too. It's trying to help out,
Yeah, we're just not doing our job. It's fine.
trying to help out, make it run smooth, and being lazy. But so what do we got here? Stephen Legacy, Michael Schneehl, known as Whitey, 7-6 race. I don't know Stephen. I've watched Mike play a lot, from before. And Mike is from Tennessee, I believe. Maybe could be parts of Kentucky. We'll see here. Let's find out. Michael Shields from Clarksville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Steven is from Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
And which one's shooting right now?
That is Whitey, Michael Shield.
Okay. It looks like Michael's probably out here. He's just going to float around 2 rails.
Yeah. The problem is sometimes people put too much left here and they are not enough and they come short, or too much rather.
When they come like almost to the side pocket. But no, he hit that good.
Yep, he did. We are down to about 12 in each bracket.
Yeah. 24 overall, but I think we're actually maybe one round past that on a few.
Yeah, we're probably win.
Or one matchup past that on a few.
All right, so Mikey makes the 8 ball. So Mike takes the first game.
I'd say all the matches from here on out, everybody's going to be, in good stroke. And
Yeah, I think when you get down to this point here, you find the better sixes, the better sevens, etc. That's at the top of that number. You got one or two that just kind of found their way in there. Um, but the bottom line is, anytime there's a handicap event, if you're a six, well, there's always going to be the worst six and the best six, and it's just how it is, and that's never, ever, ever going to change. Let's see, David Craig. Let's see where he's at. Um, I know he was in this morning. One lost side. I don't know if he won or lost. We'll find out here.
see if he can get this one in the side. Or the three in the corner.
Okay, so David Craig beat Robert Mooningham today. And then he lost to Jeremy Gross. So David Craig is out. Um, he finished in the top 32.
So he got one out of the money.
One out of the money, yes.
Steven just made a good break. He missed the one in the side, but went in the corner. And then the three, of course, went in the top corner up here.
Mm.
And left himself a really nice first shot.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, opening shot's nice.
So it's a funny story about David Craig. I moved to South Carolina back in.
It's over there.
Yeah, I moved to South. Oh, Lord mercy, trying to hold to not go into the 5. But anyway, I moved to South Carolina back in 21. for about 6 months. I took a position with my company, and long story short, that fell through. But anyway, I'm down there and I meet a guy, uh, David Gregg. Really nice guy. Kind of hit it off with him down there. And 6 months later, I find myself back home in Indiana, and I'm running a tournament because that's what we do. And David Craig signs up for the tournament. I said, "Are you coming from South Carolina to play?" Come to find out, he's from Illinois, not too far from where I'm from. And he had moved back home himself. And I was like, "Well, that's pretty neat."
Hmm.
Of course, Jay Miller was in here last night too. He's from South Carolina. I met him down there. He's a nice guy. What question you got? What question you got? Oh, I'll put you in.
What?
What was the score, Brandon? 9-3. I went ahead and put it in. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I just put that score in there for him. So an update for y'all. Brandon Thomas just beat Jordan Davis 9-3.
That is strong.
We talked last night that Brandon Thomas has a gear that he was not showing last night. He managed to get it through Joey Vola from down 6-2. But today, I think I didn't get to watch it, but the Brandon we know, came back. So it looks like Steven won that game. So we got 1-1. Um, we're down to um, we're down to less than 20 overall. I don't. So my boy Dylan Smith, right beside me, had a tough loss. Heel to Myron Crochet, who was the lottery winner and the highest Calcutta. Um, Myron was at 26.
Yeah, he was the highest, but he went second blind.
Second bid, yes. But he's so Dylan is still guaranteed top 12 overall. Fifth, sixth in his bracket of 128 players. That's definitely a pretty big feat.
Absolutely, because there was a lot of players.
A lot of good players. 128 players, and right now you're sitting in the top six. That's saying something.
Absolutely.
Especially in a race of three, you have to play good, and you have to find a little luck. Them short races, they're tough. So to outlast that 120 people, that's pretty tough.
Yeah, I can definitely say I haven't made it quite that far. I made it top 16 before with 128, and tell you what, it was all me at the end. The reason I lost, but
I won the Indiana State tournament for VNA with 127 players, and it was a race of three. So I understand it was eight ball,
right.
but I understand how tough it is to win races of three tournaments. But Dylan's next match will be not in that bracket. Oh, he'll play Dakota Merrick or Rufus Moorhead the second.
Yeah, her Rufus is shooting really good.
So, they're both threes. Rufus is, and Dylan is. Dakota is a 5, so Dylan will get a couple games from him. Oh, a pretty big scratch there, wasn't it?
Yeah, he overshot it trying to get too good on the 2, I think. Which he had the right angle, he just got to control that a little more.
So Whitey's got a chance to add to his handicap. He was already starting off getting the game. They're hill, so or 1-1, so it's still a game. If he wins this, it's 2 games in a shorter race, which is tough.
Right. Decided to roll up and shoot the combo.
Really? Well, of course, I hate combinations, so I'm against that.
Right, you're a little biased towards him.
I am, because I would have shot the 2, drew back for the 4. He had ball in hand, so. But I tell you, the people that see the combos, they don't bother them.
Not for those kind of combos.
Just for a guy like me that just can't see them, on paper, I'm a better player than both these guys, but they both probably shoot combos better than me. I'll tell you that. So we got 49 viewers, but you guys are quiet. It's 10-2. You got no excuse for tired now. You should be awake now. What say you guys today?
I mean, church is over and everybody's awake if they had hangovers.
Should be.
That should cover both spectrums there.
Yep. Is he coming around? Yes, he is, and he hit it really, really well. As long as he ain't on the rail.
No, even if he was, it's not too terrible of an angle.
Yeah, it wouldn't be horrible. You just don't want to. My phone's making a lot of noise today.
Nice easy spin around for 2 rails and straight in.
Yep, no issues here, is there?
No.
So up to Whitey needs 4 and Steven needs 6. So now it's a 6-4 race.
Yep, that's a little tougher for sure.
Absolutely. So I think they've moved all the matches over here, maybe.
Yes, yeah, and that's the reason they're keeping the scores over here now too.
Because I know at 4 o'clock,
They got Lee.
APA's coming over there.
Yeah, it's just easier to bring everybody over here, get the bleachers, and keep everybody centralized. And know when Hugh said hello, but I don't know if we ever said it back. So how's it going, Hugh?
Oh, hey, Hugh.
You playing league today, I imagine?
So Jason says Myron spots him the wild 8. Jason Taylor from Bowling Green. Uh, wow.
I mean, honestly, Wild 8 is something, but it's not like game spots, you know?
No, but if a guy's got to spot you that, but he's lower than you in this event,
Right.
somebody's wrong.
Well, maybe, yeah.
Either you're too high or they're too low, or
Or someone's opinion of themselves lower, maybe.
could be.
Hugh, when are you not working? I just want to know what day do you have off this year, and has it happened yet?
Yeah, Hugh has like 9 jobs. He works about 72 hours a week, but he makes 300,000 a year. Right, Hugh?
Somewhere around that number. If 8 of those jobs are for his wife,
Low side or high side? See, I thought I was pretty close there. Somewhere between, somewhere between 15,000 and 300,000 to be safe. Okay, so Steven just won that game. So he's tied us up at 2-2.
yeah, but still down 1 on the handicap, right? So
Yes, still spotting the
five
game, shorter race.
5-4 race. All right.
And for anyone out there, if you don't think 5-4 is different than 7-6, I promise you it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'll play you 5-4, but 7-6 don't sound very fun.
Yeah, it's totally different. It's yeah, the percentage of handicap goes up as the races goes down. Getting getting down to some payouts here. People's inquiring so they can go home.
Yep. 18 or 19 through 24, I guess, or 18. What
Look at
is it?
there, best break we're seeing. 4 balls down, hooked onto three.
No shot. Wow.
Yeah, 4 balls on a break and no shot in the three.
So 19 through 24, I guess, gets their money back basically for the tournament.
Yes. Are we in the money? Can we get our pay and go home?
I don't know. I feel like we should be. Although I do believe this will get over a decent time today.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a reasonable time to exit out of here and drive back home about 2.5, 3 hours. And
Yeah.
we got to tear down. And,
Not through. Well, Henderson on the way back isn't as bad.
oh my gosh,
Yeah, that was a mess.
we got delayed about an hour and a half coming here through Henderson, Kentucky.
That was part of it, and then
Then we got more on 24.
yeah, there was a
Um,
wreck, I believe.
yeah, and had to go bypass around 24. I mean, we're 15 miles from Nashville and had to cut around and go way out of our way.
Yeah, it's the price we pay for being on time.
Yep.
All right, what's he thinking about here? Giving it back?
Yeah, I can't tell. Maybe we can hear. Oh man. Yeah, because you couldn't try to cut it.
No, I would have gave it back. I think just because that's a hard shot to even play
Yeah.
safe on.
What can you do? He was trying to get it under those balls.
Right,
Uh,
past the 9, basically.
yes, but
Yeah.
I think you're scratching doing that. I don't think you could have did it. But he's definitely going to shoot this combination and shoot at it. I mean, you don't have to. You can come off the faces of three, go into the four, and leave no shot, not even a look. 'Cause
Uh-oh.
now that we're there, yeah, you're pretty much sold out either way. You know, maybe the safety would have been a little better option in that case.
Yeah, but he also felt pretty good about it, just being larger pockets.
Of course, we're back to Mickey Hammond that can't play a combo to save his life, so I'm always rooting against the combination. Okay, so Whitey goes another game at 3-2. So now he's back to spotting 2 games, and the race keeps getting shorter. I think it's getting close to time to eat.
What do you think we're having today?
I'm going to bet cheeseburgers.
Cheeseburgers and fries.
But the good thing is we may only have to eat it once.
It's true.
Not that it's bad food here,
No, no.
but when you eat it for 3 days, it gets a little old. You know, if we can get out here at a decent time, we may be able to stop for a dinner.
No, can't do that. Maybe we'll stop when we get home for dinner.
Stop where?
I don't know, in Evansville. Get food there.
I mean, I've traveled to Nashville a lot, and through Henderson is definitely faster than going to Owensboro, but not with that traffic is not.
No, they were
Anytime
actually,
there's traffic.
yeah, they were working on the bridge, actually checking, doing inspections, and it's a planned thing, a scheduled thing. So I mean, we just kind of forgot, man.
I mean, I don't think it's that much difference. I'm kind of curious now to see.
Put some nice hold on that one.
So it's 2 hours and 5 minutes from Henderson. It's 1 hour and 55 minutes from Owensboro. So 10 minutes difference from one town to the next. And Henderson is another 30 minutes to Owensboro. So it's about a 20-minute difference. But like I said, any bit of traffic changes that. So
Right.
it may be the risk is worth the 20 minutes
Right. It would have been Friday, but
for sure.
I would say normally not, but maybe. Plus, just the whole you're still moving always makes it feel better.
Yeah,
No one likes to sit there and tap the brakes every couple seconds.
yeah. I traveled this road a lot because I had my corporate office was in Cleveland, Tennessee, so I was down here a lot. And of course, I did a lot of training, different DMs and people like that in this area. So
It's a nice little shot there.
it was.
I'm not sure how to do that one, but it looked pretty.
So the five ball here, do you try to draw back or do you go three rails and come around between the six and seven? He's drawing.
I think I draw all the time just because it's a much bigger area to land. If you use, bottom left, which he did, yeah.
Yep, he hit it very well.
Plus, it's all about the show, right?
Yep, but the three rail position's prettier.
It's true.
It goes around three rails, both sides of those two balls, and come between the six and seven. Joey, you in town today? It's Sunday, you know. You normally don't work on Sundays these days with your new company.
I guess he's spin around two here also. Needs it to keep on coming, though.
Uh, Jason, the best tournaments are typically an eight ball handicap style event. Letter ratings A to C or double A to C, something like that. Double A to D is the best style tournaments. I would like to incorporate a C plus or C minus, where when you play a player, they go to higher, so we can get rid of that two. But we don't normally do two. We normally do 3 to 7. And Whitey takes off another game. So it's now a 5 to 2 race.
Yeah, he's definitely pulling away here a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, Jason, we'd have to figure out, talk to Nicole or the owner there, figure out something. I'm driving, of course, 2.5 hours. Uh, these bar owners, a lot of them, they only want you to do for them, we like to make a dollar too. Well, I don't know how low you're talking, Nick, but it's not impossible for a low skill level. I mean, if you're talking an APA two, yeah, they can't win. Um, but hardly ever do APA twos play in those events.
Not unless their other partner is, and sometimes they do then.
Yeah, doubles events.
Well, I just meant, let's say,
Oh, a husband's playing, so a wife just jumps in as well, or vice versa.
right.
Yeah, yeah, that could be the true there. A 450 Fargo can absolutely win those tournaments.
Yes.
I don't know, um, but I mean, they can definitely compete.
Yeah, we don't do statistics every time we run tournament.
Or anytime, as far as I. But
That's true. Probably be good numbers for people to know, but
I mean, a 450 Fargo is somewhere around the middle of the road five. So if a middle road five can't compete in a handicapped event,
yeah, I mean, they're not going to win open events, but absolutely they'll win, playing as a C player.
what the problem is it's got to be tough for everybody, the low guys and the high guys. You can't have a tournament where the high guys have to play at the top of their game every time to win. Same as you can't have it where the low guys have to play at the top of their game. You're going to have some upsets here and there, and everyone, plays inconsistent, I guess we'll use for a word. But like a C player, again, we've talked about this yesterday and today earlier, that the C is not your ability, it's your average. So on average, a 450 Fargo player is probably a C player.
Right. There's plenty of days that they could play like a 500, at least a couple games or one match, or
Yes.
you know. But then there's days they play like 400s, go the opposite direction a little bit.
I don't know if they have or not. I
Well,
do know everyone has the option to play.
I was gonna say there's been a couple C's that won your 9-ball handicap ones on Fridays.
Yeah,
Yeah, one player was shooting one-handed and won it.
of course, them are ball spots. Them are a little different than what Nick's talking about.
Right.
The ball spot's definitely a different style of handicap. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, the last tournament we had, 450s and under were going to two, weren't they?
On 8-ball. Yeah, I believe it. No, was it? Yeah, I believe it was. It was 400 and under or 450 and under.
Is it iPhone? Is it for an iPhone? You got to charge. Is it lightning port? Or lightning or C?
Well,
If it's lightning, he's got lightning. Yeah, I don't work. Had to lend out a charger here.
yeah, the other guy that wanted his phone charged is full, I think. Yeah.
Three-man tournaments are fun. We run a lot of them around here, where it's 8-ball, 9-ball, and fast rack, with a cap of skill level in those. They're fun.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what he does here. Ooh, tried to cut it. Do what? Yeah. Didn't I just hand it to you? I just handed it to you. You walked over here.
Oh, you're right. Man,
See, I thought I just seen you hand him a phone.
Hope that's your phone. Hey, is this outside right here? Yes.
Yes.
Is it water for you?
Oh, no. Loser side. Yeah, it's loser side. So the last 8-ball tournament we ran, we had up to 450 was going to 3 games. 450 to 524 was going to 4 games. 525 to 599 was 5 games. 600 to 649 was 6. And 650 to 699 was 7. And nobody at 700 or above was allowed to play. That's the last one we did.
So it was 450.
Hmm.
Steven got that one.
Oh, Nick, I know. I don't take it that way. It's just a conversation.
And to be fair, I mean, high players always seem to weed out, the lower ranked players, even in handicap tournaments. Quite a few of them.
Hmm. And I guess it's tough for me. I'm a little biased. I've worked hard to get to my level, and at my level, at my age, we didn't grow up having those kind of tournaments.
No.
So it's hard for me to sympathize uh,
Right.
for those kind of tournaments.
Now they had, like, I remember when you used to run them, and when it came to Evansville, like at the beginning, they had two separate tournaments. They had like a 5 and under, and then a 6 and
Yes.
up, but it was always even race.
Hmm.
And I played in the higher ones just because I wanted to be better. I didn't, necessarily play that speed at the time.
Yeah, the going the two is definitely tough. It's
Went for the bank. He didn't like any other options there, and didn't really leave himself great on the one. I don't think it passes there. There's also plenty of 575s who are overranked. Saying I'm only saying this because I'm right at 575. And a couple months ago, I'd say I was overranked, and currently, I think it's about right. It's all about how much I play, really.
yeah.
Tim Early's definitely an overrated 575. He sucks.
But I guess it's hard. I understand what Nick's saying for sure. Um, I know that what it comes down to is usually the players just put in the time and worked hard to get where they're at. They're almost always going to outrun the handicap unless you just make it so bad they can't win.
Right.
That's kind of the only way to do it, and that's not fair.
No, it's not fair for either side then. They feel like they're just being given.
Yeah, so it's and we're talking about 8-ball. It's just really tough. Um,
There's a nice bank there to get back
mhm.
on the three.
There's a reason Ray Schultz won almost every tournament we had in Evansville because he's
Hmm.
the best player, and they were handicapped.
They were handicapped and then handicapped more for him.
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean all with the exception of a couple. Um, I mean we all kind of felt like we were playing for second, but we were even still throwing our money in there, knowing that Ray's going to beat us almost every time.
Yeah, we're all hoping someone else beat him before we got to him.
Right, because everyone's a low player to somebody.
Right.
So it's tough. There's several ways to look at it, and I know I don't know what the fair way is. Um,
Well, let's be honest though. If Skywood were played in a weekly tournament, we'd all be there.
we absolutely would.
So it doesn't matter in the end, you know. It's
But
about having fun and not, just
well, and true, and at a younger age, we didn't have that opportunity to play with these pros. Like now, you can go to tournaments all over, amateur tournaments, and pros are playing in them because there's money in them.
hmm
We didn't have those opportunities to play with the pros like that when we were young. So, we looked up to players. If I was let's say back then a 300, I looked up to a player like me that was a 650. I wanted to play that player.
Well,
I
yeah.
wanted to learn from that player. I don't feel like the lower level players have that same mentality of trying to learn from the higher players. They want a little bit more given to them.
Right.
And I'm not dissing them or insulting them. It's a different mentality in today. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong either, but I'm saying I didn't grow up to that, so it's hard for me to empathize with that.
Yep. What's up, Darren? Are you finally awake or just now getting on the stream or both?
No, Nick, you're right. That's for sure. What's up, Darren?
Yeah, not too many are making a living doing that. That's for sure.
No, not at an amateur level. I mean, not a good living.
No, yeah.
I mean, you really hardly ever see an amateur out there trying to make a living. I see Jason Hunt doing it right now, but it's Jason Hunt. Um, you didn't really see amateurs. And you think about your low level pros, which are amateurs. Shane McMinn, Joey Gray, Alex Olinger, people like you don't see them guys out snapping off stuff.
Right. Phew, man, I did not see that scratching.
No. Nick, when you say high players, I feel like you're only, I guess you're talking about probably more of the lines of the 700 level players. Um, a player like me, I don't go around and try to rob little weekly tournaments. I've just never been that guy. These little weekly tournaments have every week with 12 players, and it's a race to two. You know you're the absolute front runner. I've never been that guy to go try to rob those tournaments, but it's a good conversation. It's a fun conversation.
Yeah, and
Um,
the things I've learned in the past though is no one really has a great answer for it except for knowing how people play helps. You really have to evaluate every player.
yep. I think there's things you can take in consideration. You can take Fargo. You can take APA ratings. Um, you can look at all that stuff, but the bottom line is, how's the guy play? But if you look at a tournament and you see all these 5-0, 6-0, 7-0s, then if you got a lot of that stuff going on, you got ratings off.
Well,
And
yeah. I
that
mean,
when you see a lot of that stuff, the ratings are not right. You shouldn't have that many whitewashes.
right, it does happen though. Even on the pro level,
It
we
does.
learned.
We just seen that yesterday or day before. It does happen.
Right,
But if you see where there were 75 matches in a tournament and 20 of them were whitewashes,
right.
there's a problem. Yeah, that is funny about the split brackets. The money's there, and we won't even talk about any of the ones around here. Let's talk about Meridian. Let's talk about the ICB down in where's it at? Alabama. These there's so many people that go to the tournaments and think they're stealing. But you can look at them and know they have no prayer based on the remaining players in the field. But they go because the money's huge.
Well, they go because the money's huge, and the ratings. They think they're being lowered on ratings, but it's just how many games you go to. So it's no different than me saying you're a 7, but you played a 6 games. And this one you're just a 6, and that's
Hmm.
just it makes it more simple.
It's just very weird way of thinking. Whenever you think about a lot of these players go because they say, "Oh well, if you win it, you're 60,000." Well, okay. Well, what's your chances of winning?
1 in 192.
I mean, and but it's really based on the odds and the percentages. If you win, it's worse than that.
Worse than that, yeah.
The and when you think about, I talk about the lotto all the time. I never play the lotto at 250 million. But when it goes to 300 million, I said, well, I better get me a ticket.
Well, yeah,
It's,
500, 600.
yeah, it's 300 million now. 250 million wasn't enough,
Right, yeah.
but 300 million is.
Even though technically your odds are actually worse. Well, worse at winning it by yourself
Hmm.
because there's so many people playing in it.
Right. Yeah, that 99-0 ball was just
That
it's
was
one thing to whitewash,
yeah, that was a show. I
but
mean,
yeah, I mean, he pocketed 100% of the balls that was made. Cole did. Uh, Delicious Yap never made a ball, and Cole did miss one ball.
right.
I don't know. I don't remember what
It
ball he missed, but he missed a ball.
well, yeah, he did, but he didn't leave. Yeah, he didn't leave.
There's a lot to be said. You can miss a ball, but you're playing a secondary plan on that miss, just in case. Yeah, Darren. I mean, I think you're right there. I don't know if the number is 20. Uh, I know that. Let's say these are normal 120 player fields. On the 120 player field, um, there's 20% of these players that think they're stealing. But the truth is, they're only stealing to get in the top 20, 25. But of those 20%, 5% of them are stealing. Um, they are the guys, the Cash Keatons, the Liz Lovelies, the April Larsons, the people like that. You can talk about ICB. Um, I will say one thing, um, and everyone knows how I feel about split bracket players. I'm not a split bracket guy. Uh, Chrissy, who's running the Jersey Girl split brackets, she knows how I feel about split brackets. The but I will say the Jersey Girl tournaments are closer than the ones I see anywhere else.
Yeah, this one was actually not too bad.
Hmm.
I mean, you have a few people complain, but really they played strong for a few matches, but they didn't play the.
Yep.
There's people there fading off and playing better and playing worse. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, Nick, you're right. April should not have been a four. We had a guy in here yesterday that was playing as a four, snuck in, bought himself for $100 in the player auction. After evaluating and watching him play, Chrissy asked me to even come and watch. I came and watched. The guy plays at a 7 speed. Chrissy went to him, had a conversation, which is very hard to do, and explained to him, hey, you came in under the radar and you got away with it for 3 matches. But you're going to play as a 7 for now on, and you're going to stay on the low side. I don't want to put him on blast on here, Nick. It's not my place to do that. Um, but anyway, the guy plays as a 7, and he's playing today. Was. And he's playing his opponent and getting shitty with his opponent and mouthing off and threatening to take him outside. And so the guy was just DQ'd and made to leave the premises. Um, I'll tell you the match I witnessed, Nick, with this guy. He's playing a guy that's a 3. This guy's a 4. The guy we're talking about. Uh, the guy in question gets an unfortunate scratch in game 1 off of a ball on the 8 ball and loses that game. The second game, he gets one of those weird cue ball off the in rail scratch, so he's down 2-0 against this guy. Uh, from there out, his opponent, breaks dry, and this guy we're talking about runs out. Then the guy breaks and runs, and I watched the runs, so it wasn't like some layout that was laying there for you. Then he breaks dry. His opponent shoots the 1 ball, makes it, misses a 2 ball, and the guy we're talking about runs out. So he basically runs a 4-pack. He had a 642 Fargo with no starter rating, so his Fargo was 100% based off of his performance. So the guy was absolutely that 6-7 speed player. And, maybe a 6 was the number, But I think when you come into an event like this and you try to get away with that, I think the penalty should be harsh.
Absolutely.
I mean, he wasn't DQ'd. He was moved to a 7, which maybe could have been a 6. Um, and so he was allowed to play, but then he got pretty shitty today. Um, and yeah, he got caught trying to cheat. You know, it's we seen a guy in Louisville that won the last one they had there. He beat Brad Hutchins in the finals.
Hmm.
Um, the guy was playing as a 4, and that guy played at a 6-7 speed.
Yeah, he actually what beat Brad before the handicap, right?
Well, he beat Brad before the handicap.
Yeah.
Brad didn't get to this guy's number.
Right.
Well, maybe you can call it snitching, but Darren, you've known me long enough now. We've kind of had our words with each other, and we've had some fun with each other. And but the bottom line is, I'm always looking for honesty, and I'm always going to be transparent with it. I don't care if you're my best friend. I don't care if you're my family. Um, if I'm asked, I will always give my opinion, and the opinion I'm giving is my 100% honest opinion. It's never swayed by anything else that's involved in any type of shade at all. But yeah, there's always someone going to get through there, and I think see, it's going to go in a hole. Ooh, almost. You're always going to find someone to slip through, and it's really hard to go to that person after they drove from West Virginia. I'll tell you that part because Chrissy gave that away last night. From West Virginia all the way to here, and now you move them up 3 skill levels.
Yeah.
You
He
know,
was
to
what 4 hours away. Is that what he
yeah,
said?
6.
6.
To
Ooh.
go have that conversation with someone, that's hard to do. And I'll give Chrissy credit. You know, her and I, we've had our words. Hell, we had words on the way here. Um, but I still will give credit where it's due. She had a conversation with that guy like a champion, and that's hard. I mean, the guy called her a couple names, and even today, and he was calling some opponents outside, trying to come outside and fight him. Yeah, that's true. Been way worse there in the finals.
Yeah, you almost can't change him at that point.
No, and when Chrissy came to me and she said, "Hey, I made a mistake." She said, I think I got this guy in. I think I got him way too low. Will you come and watch a match with me and tell me what you think?" So I did. Um, but on top of that, sh he had a Fargo tied to his name that he said wasn't him. The Fargo was under a North Carolina state. Uh, and he said, "No, I'm from West Virginia. That ain't me." Well, as a BCA league operator, I can look up anybody in the world, and I looked the guy up for him or for her, and I discovered that the every match in this Fargo that they're referring to was in West Virginia. So it was absolutely him. They said. Then we watched the match, and like I said, I explained to you what took place in the match. He got caught, and he was allowed to stay in. And until today, when he started threatening people.
Well, it's turned out to be a really close match. Actually, Steven's been behind the whole time, right? Just kept catching up, and
Hmm. Yeah, it's so we're back to 5-5. It's a 2-1 race.
yep.
Yeah, Mike. And that is a bad thing too. Anytime a lower level player has a day, you hear that people saying, "Oh, he's throwing off." And I mean, I've even heard about Mike. And if we're talking about Mike, and I said, "Look," I said, "this guy was quitting the APA because they were wanting him to dump." I said, "This is not that kind of guy that does that." Yeah, Nick, what he did, yeah, of course, he tried to call people outside whenever it got heated today. Not me, I wasn't involved in it because I'm just here performing a service for Stream, and all that stuff had nothing to do with me. But my opinion was asked. So Terry, I mean, he wasn't no big guy, He was, if you know Dylan Smith, he was about Dylan Smith's size. He wasn't little, but
Yeah.
of course, that don't mean whether you're tough or not. The But he called. I mean, even a guy like he was playing Rufus Moorhead, who's a big boy. He was mouthing off to Rufus. He mouthed off to Greg Stockton. If you know who Greg Stockton is, of course, this guy isn't very old. He's mouthing off to Greg Stockton. Not that Greg Stockton's 90 years old, but he's definitely no pup. Yeah, Rufus he's a fantastic guy, and this guy was getting shitty with Rufus because Rufus was playing decent. Rufus, we know where his level is. He ain't pulling no punches. But they end up making the guy leave the premises, and so he'll probably go out there and he'll probably blast. And but the bottom line is, he's the one that snuck in at least 2 skill levels below, maybe 3, and he got caught.
Wow. I didn't know that went there. That was.
Could he see it straight?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, no curve on that. Didn't look like at all. But he knew he was going to leave himself on a long two with the position on the four not too natural unless you go forward.
Yeah, it's always he'll go forward and come up. He won't try to put a whole lot of left. I wouldn't think because it makes the shot tougher. He can just go straight high. He's putting some left though, which is enough just to spin it over. He's got an angle where to spin off that second rail pretty good. Yeah, he's putting about a tip of high left on it.
Oh, it kicked out.
And that's why the left is tough. It makes the shot tougher. You could have shot that with straight high, came one rail, and had about the same thing.
Right.
So yeah, so now we're about to have a heel match, which is what we like to see.
Yeah. Do we have a match set up for the next one?
Let me take a look at the bracket here.
He left himself a little funny on the 7. Could probably still sneak past side pocket.
Yeah, I would say so. Just a little tip of right. Oh. So this would be a good match. I wonder where they're at. But we'd have to be waiting.
Maybe.
Where are we at up here? That match is being played. No, she got that for Tebow next. Looks, see that?
Oh, okay.
So she's got us one ready already. Awesome.
Right.
Good job, Jeannie.
And it looks like we're on the hill here.
We are on the hill, yes. I'm gonna order some food, Patrick. You want something?
Yeah, I think I'll go with you.
Yep. We'll be right back. Well, let's wait till this.
We'll
match is
finish the
over.
one game, yeah.
So we're hill here, right?
Yes.
Oh wow. So Nick went and found the bracket and found out who Dustin Cole played, and put it out there. I didn't put it on blast. I think Chrissy did last night, maybe. I don't know. I think I stopped her from doing it. I had her on the stream for a little bit. I think I restrained her from, but yeah, you said it. I didn't. You went and looked at the bracket and seen who played. I may have gave enough hints.
Oh.
Oh,
Wow.
mercy.
Oh no.
I was thinking about saying it anyway. Like I said, I don't care. I mean, you want to be stupid. But he's now been DQ'd from any of the Jersey Girl entertainment stuff she's had. So, which, like I said, disagree or agree with some of Chrissy's stuff. She got my respect for that. I can't tell if Dylan or Derek or Dakota won. They just played their match. They're down there, so we can. I can log back in here. Go to the low side. And find out where we're at on that. Looks like Dakota won that one. So Dylan finishes fifth, sixth in his bracket.
I know he missed the 4-ball shot, but it just barely fell.
Really?
Yeah, it was. He missed it, by a dime and a half cutting down the rail, and it just had enough speed to go ahead and roll in.
Well, y'all have a great fucking day.
See you, buddy. Get your money.
Can tell Dylan's happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I don't give a fuck.
he got the top 12 out of 192 players. That's
Yeah, that's an accomplishment. And Steven,
has grinded in this match against Whitey
the first time he's ahead will be
to win. That's right.
a winning game. Or winning, yeah.
Yeah. It was a great match, Mike, Whitey kind of held his own all the way through it until the end. And I know we got a match waiting on us. Maybe it's up top.